Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
Welcome everyone to Movie Memory Machine 5-4, the only mini-series that brings you 5 films thematically linked to this week's movie, and we have got a doozy of a set of films for you. I am your host, Landen Solano, joined always by my co-host, Truman Caps. Truman, it's good to see you.
Landen, it's fergalicious to be seen. I am so excited to be back with the movie Poseidon, parentheses 2006, which I liked and no one else did.
I've been meaning to compliment you on your lady lumps, but just haven't had the courage.
I just keep moving it. There's so much going on, you don't have time.
We have 5 films that we've put together for you for the movie Poseidon from 2006. Unfortunately, Lauren and Joe are not with us. They did not have any say in this, so do not put any blame of what we have chosen on their doorstep.
Are we getting a lot of blame and criticism for our picks for these 5-4s? I wasn't aware there was so much controversy.
80%, I think, of the correspondence we get is complaints about the 5-4s that we've chosen.
Oh my God, that's pretty brutal, and not just because I kept talking about Channing Tatum's butt cheeks that one time.
Channing Tatum's.
Okay, sorry.
Let's go into the first of the 5 films we have for Poseidon. I don't think the first one's going to surprise you much.
Okay, let's flip this boat. Of course, the original Poseidon Adventure, a movie that I stand by my assertion is incredibly boring. Too slow-paced, not good enough. But
to be fair, I want to re-highlight what you said in the episode. You did watch it on your phone on a plane.
I did, but I still just like I don't need to see 15 minutes of Ernest Borgnine yelling at Gene Hackman while they just stand completely still in an upside down room. I hold the movie in somewhat higher regard now that Mr. Hackman has passed away, and it's one of my last experiences with my boy.
Yeah, I don't need to go too deep into this one because we covered it so extensively on the main episode, but I still hold true by my account that this is possibly the best disaster film that exists. Now, just on that note, I'm curious, and I won't hold you to this answer, but as far as disaster films go, what would you put as your favorite disaster film of all time?
Oh man, I'm thinking about this, and no matter what response I give, it will probably make you unhappy.
No, I don't care. Whatever.
Does Independence Day count as a disaster film?
You know, we alluded to that. We flirted with this idea on the main episode, and I'm going to say no. I think those are action films where it's more like Armageddon, also not a disaster film because it's a group of people that have an objective to stop a thing or to fight against a thing. Disasters are something that happen to people, and then it becomes a survival thing.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, okay. Well, does Twister count as a disaster film?
That falls somewhere between, but I'll say sure. Yeah, why not? It's a natural disaster, natural occurrence. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then not only is Twister my favorite disaster film, it is one of my favorite films ever made. I also have a soft spot for the movie Dante's Peak, starring Pierce Brosnan and
Linda Hamilton.
And Linda Hamilton, completely blanked on her name. That is a shameful thing. I know. I watched that movie a lot when I was a kid, and I came to it because Pierce Brosnan was James Bond at the time, and I was like, what if James Bond fought a volcano? Don't mind if I do. I don't know that it holds up. My issue with the Poseidon Adventure, I don't mind a movie taking a deliberate pace and building out character. It's just that the stakes of we're on an upside-down sinking boat and we have to get out, like, it never really feels like there's a ticking clock. It never really feels like there's a whole lot of pressure to escape the upside-down boat.
All right, well, we can agree to disagree on this one. I do feel that, but it is what it is. Shall we move on to the next film?
Are you saying that you derived more feeling and emotion from the movie by watching it on an actual TV and not your phone on an 11-hour flight from Italy to the U.S.?
I didn't. Listen. I didn't say the words. I didn't say anything at all about that at all. You glean what you want to out of it.
Look, it's like you're Ernest Borgnine and I'm Gene Hackman, and we're just yelling at each other. Let's go to the next room of this sinking ship.
All right, here we go.
Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. God damn it, Landon. I'm going to yell at you some more in this new room. So this is the sequel to the original Poseidon Adventure that begins like 30 seconds after the original Poseidon Adventure.
Correct.
When all of the original cast members are whisked away from the upside-down boat. Then a bunch of new people go into the upside-down boat.
Correct, yeah. Michael Caine, Sally Field, and Peter Boyle cut their way into the ship because they are scavengers, and all of the riches that are on the ship are up for grabs, essentially. Mm-hmm. So if they can get in and get out, they can take with them whatever they want, free of charge, even though they are, the actual possessions of the people on the ship who are dying along with them, but whatever. At the same time, there is another group of people that arrive at the ship, led by Telly Savalas, who, this, we talked a little bit about putting a hat on a hat, or adding wolves to a situation that don't need wolves.
Yeah.
This is already a ludicrous premise of going into a sinking ship to get valuables.
Yeah.
But then you add to it this melodramatic, soap opera sort of storyline of not only is Telly Savalas a competing group, but he's also I was gonna say a robber. He's not a robber, but he's gonna betray everyone. He is using Michael Caine to find the jewels and transport the jewels, and then he's gonna betray him at the last second to take the jewels for himself, because that's just what he does. But along the way, they find other survivors of the Poseidon Adventure. Played by Slim Pickens and Shirley Jones and Carl Madden, that they then the original group, the Michael Caine group, set out to scavenge, but then they become the good guys because they are putting people's lives ahead of their own financial gain.
Do you think that the producers of Beyond the Poseidon Adventure went through a time warp, heard my criticisms of the original Poseidon Adventure, and were like, there's not enough incident. We need way more things in the movie?
This gives you things. There is no doubt this movie has things galore.
That's on the poster, I believe, right? Things galore.
The Irwin Allen, who directed this movie, produced almost all of the disaster films in the 70s. Poseidon Adventure was the one that popularized the genre. Beyond the Poseidon Adventure is the one that killed it.
The Beyond the Poseidon Adventure is the one that flipped the genre upside down and sunk it.
Yeah. So I do find this one to be boring a little bit at times, but I can't help but just bask in the audacity of how do you take one of the most perilous premises of escape a sinking ship before you drown and add a whole betrayal, scavenger robber baron thing to it on top of it?
Yeah, what if the Reservoir Dogs were on an upside-down sinking cruise ship? Let's find out.
Let's find out. Speaking of let's finding out, let's move on to the next movie.
Let's. Airport. The original airplane disaster movie. This is where I feel like I am at a disadvantage for being born in the late 80s, because for being born in the late 80s and having comedy dork parents, they showed me Airplane, and I grew up on Airplane, not knowing that Airplane was a parody of 4 different airplane disaster movies, starting with Airport.
It's not, though.
What?
That's the thing. Airplane, just in title, is parodying Airport, but Airplane is actually a parody of the movie 0 Hour, which is almost shot-for-shot remade.
Shot-for-shot remade. Wait, so What do you mean? Wait, 0 Hour was remade as Airport, or 0 Hour is a remake of Airport?
No. Airplane is a parody, almost a shot-for-shot parody of the movie 0 Hour.
Okay, so then what's Airport, the movie that you're actually recommending?
Airport, I mean, has a very similar premise to 0 Hour. I mean, it is a disaster movie in the sky. What if a plane was hijacked by, I want to say, Sonny Bono, but that's Airplane.
See, they've all run together. Right on down to the still image that we're looking at on the screen here. 3 like white dudes in pilot outfits sitting in the cockpit of the plane. I immediately just think Airplane. Like I'm expecting Otto, the inflatable pilot, to come up.
No one can fault you for that. That is The thing with Airport though is it even is before the Poseidon Adventure. So I think the Poseidon Adventure popularizes things. Airport is the one that starts it. And what it's really starting is the large ensemble cast, multi-generational cast that is put in peril for an inflated runtime disaster film.
Yeah. Kind of. Was this sort of a roadshow release? Is this like a very long movie with an intermission too?
I think the roadshow releases were kind of dead by then, but it does kind of have it's a mad world vibe to it.
Yeah, it's a mad
comedy.
It's a mad plane, but there's nothing to laugh about up there in the sky.
Yeah. Well, and I guess there's no. Why don't we just talk about the other one while we're at it? Because the next film is
Airplane. There you go. Almost the same. Yeah. Almost the same title card image of a sweaty guy in the cockpit of a plane. Boy. This was just bread and butter growing up. My parents were saying, "Don't call me Shirley" every damn day.
Yeah, no one can refute Airplane, and Lauren was right on the money in the main episode in saying you can't do another genuine disaster film in this vein after Airplane comes out.
Well, I mean, didn't they make a sequel to Airplane that could not recapture the magic?
They did. Yes, they did.
It's what I think the beauty of Airplane is. It's a movie that is very stupid in a very smart way. It is smart people making a dumb movie and knowing that they're making a dumb movie and understanding the value of a movie being dumb, and it's dumb in a smart way.
Yes, I think the way it's smart though is that they don't play the comedy. They play the drama. Mm-hmm. And there's not a single person in this movie telling a joke.
Yes.
They're telling dramatic lines of dialogue, and it's just so absurd. Like, Leslie Nielsen was a dramatic actor before this movie, having to, slap a nun across the face. It's a ridiculous situation. But he plays it as if he was playing his dramatic roles.
Yeah. He's playing it as if he's one of the characters who Detective Columbo repeatedly arrested on episodes of the TV series Columbo. There's almost an I think you should leave mentality to something like this, where every character in every scene is taking the absurd situation completely seriously and treating it like it's the most important thing in the world.
Oh my God, I would watch an Airplane remake with Tim Robinson.
Oh my God. Yes. I'm sorry. Let's stop the episode. I have to sit and think about that and laugh for the rest of the day.
The only way you could do Airplane again is with that style, that brand, that commitment of humor.
I think it's just Sam Richardson and Tim Robinson's Airplane. Do whatever you want with that premise.
Done.
It will work.
All right. Let's move on to our last film.
Attack of the Meth Gator. This sounds familiar. Do we know the creative forces behind this film?
Listen, Joe and Lauren have done a lot of films. They've written a lot of films. They've starred in a lot of films. But there's just the Meth Gator there's a moment early in this film when the titular Gator has to climb a tower to kill someone, and it's just it knows what it is and relishes the fun of that to the best degree that it is capable of doing. I love this movie.
Would we say, much like Airplane, it's yet another dumb movie made by smart people who know they're making a dumb movie?
I don't know that philosophy fully maps over this one.
Well, I mean,
kind of, but not exactly.
I mean, sure, it's not done as a comedy, but I think there's a recognition on the behalf of our former guests, Joe and Lauren, that, yes, this is an absurd premise, but we're going to, we're going to fully engage with it and milk it for everything it's worth.
Yeah, but I would also say it's not done as a comedy. It's done knowing it's an absurd drama. I mean, I don't know, it kind of crafts its own lane in a way, because it's not like campy melodramatic humor, but it's also not outright comedy. It's just, you have a movie called Meth Gator about a gator who's on meth. It's just absurd. It's absurd, and I think they know how the absurdity plays, and they lean into it.
Yeah. I mean, well, look, God bless them for it. I mean, we got to get the word out there about meth gators, and this is the way to do it.
There's a moment also, I don't know, maybe about 35 minutes in, where this is where I feel like it's really smart, is you know, watching films like this, you expect the distribution notes, like, we need TNA in order to sell this thing.
Sure.
And they almost like lean into this very hard cut, as if the studio note was the joke, where like you see all this death and destruction of the meth gator, you get a little bit of human drama, and then all of a sudden it just like cuts to a new scene, and it's a close-up of a bikini butt as a girl is walking, bringing, you know, a drink to some asshole guy that's, you know, drug dealer guy who's doing meth. And like it's that sort of vibe of like, oh yeah, we know the joke is you need to see TNA, and so instead of like just delivering it, we're gonna deliver it with our tongue in our cheek.
Okay. Well, listeners, if you want to see a bikini butt, I think you know which movie to look for. If you're a sheltered Mormon kid who is looking for butts any way he can find them, Attack of the Meth Gator is where you should look.
Anyway, definitely go check out Meth Gator and all of Lauren and Joe's films. Hopefully we'll have them back in the future, and they'll have even more that we can tout in the future. So, with that, let's end this episode. For Truman Caps, I have been Landon Solano.
And for Landon Solano, I've been Truman Caps. Now let's continue our battle about the Poseidon Adventure off mics.
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpod to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit MovieMemoryMachine.com.